It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's showtime. Yes, let me give you a hand. The Geno Jones Show. You know, I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 in Chicago, 3:30 out in Los Angeles. Subscribe, share, screen grab, like, and binge watch all my back episodes and tell everybody you know to do the same. Family, friends, foes, strangers, aliens from outer space. I don't give a damn. Tell them all. It's must-see TV. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. One of the fastest growing shows on YouTube. We continue to build our subscribers, over 500, qualifying to be a YouTube partner. Hey, listen. So my guest coming up in a few minutes is an author, a very talented woman. So she was a politician here in the state of South Carolina. She's worked in corporate America. She's got an engineering background, and she's still working in government, but she's an author now and got a real cool pen name. So you're going to get to meet her, and she'll tell you about the pen name and about her brand new book. Really, it's like a tribute to all the single moms out there. Beyonce had the song Single Ladies. So she's got something really special book saluting the single moms out there. So I can't wait to bring her on camera. But first, Frankie Beverly and Frankie Beverly and Mays are going on their I Want to Thank You farewell tour. That is one of the big hits by Frankie and the crew. Yes, over 50 years. They have been performing over 50 years. And if you have never seen, especially in his prime, man, if you never saw Frankie Beverly and Mays, you just kind of missed out. But I'm sure you can find some of those concerts somewhere on YouTube right here. So their final farewell tour, the I Want to Thank You farewell tour, is going to begin actually next month in March. Actually March 22nd in Atlanta. So if they're coming to your city, or if they're coming to a city near you, I suggest that you get your tickets, because this is it. It's a wrap. And then Frankie is after the tour. So Frankie, Raw Soul. So that's a trivia question. What was Mays' name before they became Mays? They were called Raw, R-A-W, Raw Soul. Frankie from Philadelphia. So back in Philadelphia, there's going to be a street named after Frankie. Then they went out to the Bay Area, and Frankie was actually a drummer for Marvin Gaye. So Marvin Gaye really put them on, and the rest is history. And I've had the honor to see, man, Frankie Beverly and Mays. I've had the honor to MC and host concerts by Frankie Beverly and Mays. Just really a cool dude, rocking the cap, little short brother, always rocking that cap. Always had his outfit. His fit was tight and matching. You know, if he had the summertime on tour, he had the white cap with the white, the whole white outfit, T-shirt and shoes and sneakers, shoes, the whole 9 yards, slacks. So that's my dude, a good dude, but one of the great performers, one of the great entertainers. Mays, one of the all-time great bands, and put on one of the all-time great live performances. If you saw a Mays concert, you got more than got your money's worth. And the culture knows all about that. So we're going to miss Frankie, but he's earned a rest. Damn, brother, 50 years. Man, you've been doing this over 50 years? Yeah, bro, you've earned this rest. So we're going to miss you. Shout out to Frankie Beverly and Mays. All right, so listen, I'm going to do my birthday shouts, and then I'm going to bring my guest on, because I want her to have as much time as she wants. I'm going to give, really, this episode is dedicated to her promoting her book, and we'll find out if she's going to run for another major office again. Folks, a lot of our friends like us, we need you in the fight, my sister. But anyway, before I do that, speaking of sisters in a fight, Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis. So there's a hearing in Georgia, in Fulton County, in front of a judge. They're basically trying to disqualify Fonnie Willis because she had this relationship with this dude. There's some questions on if they weren't divorced, but if he was separated anyway. So he had been working in the office, apparently, so she gives him a job, and there's some questions on, she said that he did not receive the job. He actually received the job before they had a relationship, according to Fonnie Willis and the guy who was like the lead prosecutor in the case, the case with Orange Jumpsuit Hitler, with election fraud. So you knew they were going to come for. You know the MAGA crowd, the MAGA cult's coming for the sister, because she's about to indict. He's already indicted, but she got a strong case. Send his ass to jail. So you know they got to do everything they can now to go ahead and tear this sister down. So let me say this. All right, so she was having this relationship with the lead prosecutor. He's going through a divorce. The romantic relationship has ended. But there are a whole lot of questions. But none of this salacious, TMZ, gossipy, Club Shay Shay, Geno talked about this on Friday none of this has anything to do with Donald Trump, a.k.a. Orange Jumpsuit Jackass Hitler, trying to interfere and basically he basically tried to throw out all the legal votes in Georgia. So he tried to interfere with Georgia's presidential election and was asked, find me 11,780 votes or whatever. That's what he's on trial for, because he interfered with the state of Georgia's election that was investigated and audits and everything. Everything was above board. No major. There was no voting fraud at any level that would have changed the outcome of that election. But this is a smokescreen. But I gotta say this because, okay, was it the wisest thing for Fonnie Willis to have this relationship with this lead prosecutor on this same huge trial? Okay. But I've heard some people say, oh, it's Fonnie Willis is this if this goes bad, if the judge disqualifies her from prosecuting this trial, it's going to be the end, and we're going to slide into a dictatorship, and we're going to slide into we're going to become a fascist country and slide into fascism because of Fonnie Willis. Y'all need to stop that, all right? If this country decides to elect a dude that's indicted, is facing 91 charges, 91 indictments, 4 different trials, who sent out his MAGA cult domestic terrorists to try to violently overthrow the U.S. government that was live streamed and seen on live TV, and this country still elects that dude, do not blame that on Fonnie Willis. Not at all. What we are not going to do is that you are not going to blame that black woman or any black women if this jackass winds up in the White House. And I'm going to use my platform to do everything I can to make sure that I'm educating you all so you know we had a very dangerous time. So it's easy to, once again, I'm going to paraphrase Malcolm X quote. He gave a speech in 1963. And I'm paraphrasing, the most unprotected, unheard, disrespected, devalued person in America is a black woman. And it's always easy to target black people, but especially black women in a situation like this. So whatever she did with this lead prosecutor had nothing to do, because that had nothing to do with your boy Orange Jumpsuit Jackass Hitler getting on the phone to Republican politicians in Georgia, and they recorded the calls like, look, I just need 11,780 votes. Fonnie Willis and her ex-boyfriend and whatever they were doing and whatever trips they took, it had nothing to do with that. So I don't give a damn if it didn't look right. Maybe it wasn't moral because that has nothing to do with this man interfering with Georgia's election and trying to throw out millions of votes. And the majority of those were votes by black people who didn't vote for his ass. So miss me with that. What we're not going to do, we are not going to blame Fonnie Willis for whatever happens in November. Just not. Stop it. Now, if you're that concerned about it, make sure you get your ass out and vote and get 100 people you know. Get your fraternity, your sorority, get your pastor, get your church, get your crew, folks that follow you on social media. Make sure not only do you get out and vote early, make sure everybody you know, your kids, your grandkids, your nieces, your nephews is hitting you up for some money. They need to watch this show. If they need a ride, go ahead, just like y'all rent a party bus to go to Vegas or whatever, or go to the Super Bowl, rent a party bus, or to go out around town, rent you a bus. Or some of these pastors can use these church buses to take people to and from the polls. Come on, don't get me started, because you know I'm on that all year long. All year long. It's a choice between your freedom, this election in November, and really even the local elections. But this presidential election is going to be a binary choice. So y'all can stop tripping. Nikki Haley has got us. Nikki Haley has, I got a better chance of becoming the grand wizard of the Ku Klux Klan than Nikki Haley has of becoming the MAGA cult, because there's no more Republican Party. It's a cult. The MAGA cult party's nominee in November. It's just not going to happen. So you got a binary choice. And you're not really choosing, you're not even choosing between two people. And it's bigger than ideology. You're choosing between your freedom and your oppression. I'll say that again. It's a choice between your freedom and your oppression. Because the people who want to oppress you are going to make sure that, as a matter of fact, not only are they going to make sure their voters turn up and turn out, they already got a plan in place, in writing, a booklet that you can download as a PDF on your computer or your smartphone or whatever, your tablet. I tell you, Google Project 2025. I've been talking about it. Project 2025. They got the blueprint in writing. What's going to happen if the MAGA cult takes over all three branches? Well, they kind of took over the Supreme Court, so that is the judicial branch. Half of the Congress, they got the House of Representatives. They want the Senate and the executive branch, which is the White House, the presidency. I digress. Happy birthday, Amber Riley. If you were a big fan of the 2000s TV show Glee, you know Amber Riley, 38 today. Meg the Stallion, Megan Pete. That's a government name, as you always say, her government name. Meg the Stallion, 29 today. Woo! Birdman, rapper and co-founder of Cash Money Records, and he brought Lil Wayne to Cash Money Records and was like, they had some kind of strange, he was not adopted him, he was like his ward of the state anyway. You can read, look, I think Lil Wayne got an autobiography, you can read it. But Birdman, double nickel today, 55, and actress Lynn Whitfield, one of the great actresses of our time. She played Josephine Baker. Way back 1991, there was an HBO special, the Josephine Baker special. She played Josephine Baker. She was in movies, everything from Eve's Bayou. Let's see, Medea's Family Reunion, one of my maybe my favorite role of hers. Thin Line Between Love and Hate, because she was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Straight craze. Straight stalking, crazy, cray, dangerous. They had to lock her ass up because she was cray for real. Martin Lawrence is like, yeah, you should have went left when you went right, Martin, because yeah, it was a good movie, but she played the hell out of that role. So happy birthday, Lynn Whitfield. All right, my guest is a former South Carolina state representative. She is currently working in local government in Hollywood, South Carolina. I was in South California. So she is currently working in local government right here in Hollywood, South Carolina. Not too far, part of the Charleston, South Carolina metro. Um, and is a soon-to-be best-selling author. We are speaking it into existence. Her book, Even Broken Crayons Color. I love that. It's like a tribute to single moms. I'm not going to waste any more time. I've been waiting all week, excited. There you go. You see it. Artwork done by yours truly. So, friends of the show, people who've been watching the show for 3 years, you recognize this beautiful face as a former South Carolina State Representative, Crystal Matthews, but now she has a pen name. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am introducing to you Miss Nichole Spencer. Well, hello there, and unmute your mic because I can't hear you.
Hello there.
There you go. There you go. How are you, my queen?
I am doing well. I am super excited. I appreciate you having me on the show. And I'm ready to get into it. I was listening to your monologue, and man, you hit on so many things that need to be talked about.
Yeah, I ain't real happy. I ain't because I already ran and raved, but I ain't happy about how they trying to play the Sister Fonnie Willis. And all the church folks, stop. Spare me. I don't need to hear any Bible quotes because I'm just going to tell you what my grandmother used to teach me, for what she taught me, and what she would tell me when I was a little boy, and my mother will still tell me. She would say, Jeannie, you don't have a heaven or hell to put nobody in. So for all y'all, whatever, you don't have a heaven or hell to put her in. Okay?
Exactly.
So, miss me with that. I digress. I want to talk about your book, Even Broken Crayons Color. How did you come up with that title? And then I know it's like a tribute to single moms. So please tell the story.
I'm a single mother of 5, which a lot of people know. It's been a thing for ever since I ran for the state house. And recently in my life, it's just been a turn. I have 2 kids that are out of the house now, have graduated high school, and I have 3 that are still in the house. I get so many inboxes from mothers. And I say mothers because some of them are now single mothers that didn't start off as single mothers. Some of them are former single mothers that are now married, right? That's a dynamic that nobody ever talks about when they talk about what is a single mother. And so I saw something that said broken crayon still color somewhere else. And it just kind of hit me like, man, we still are out here doing fabulous things. But one of the things that came out of my conversations is a lot of mothers don't feel like they can vent. They don't feel like they can really expose how they feel about things without being made to look bitter or angry, right? Or needing to heal or something else. So I decided that I was going to write this book, and the subtitle is Surviving Single Motherhood. The shit. Can I say shit on your show?
You sure can.
The shit we want
you can.
say out loud. Because I think there's so many things that we say that we want to say that we don't say because we're protecting other people. And I just wanted to give us a voice. So as I told somebody else, it's not a male bashing book. It's simply giving voice to us single mothers. It's giving us a place to vent and also explore emotion and also talk about solutions. So in the book, there's 3 parts. We're venting, we're exploring, and then we're going through the solutions to some of our biggest problems.
So, did you collaborate? Is it more anecdotal? Is it basically kind of your life experience, what you had to go through? Was it some of the stories of some of the women? I know you said you talked to many women. Is this like a combination or a collection, I should say, of a lot of various different stories of not just surviving but thriving from single moms, like you said, who maybe were single from the jump, or maybe weren't single, or were married, became single moms, and just what was the process when you got in the kitchen to bake this cake? So what were some of the ingredients that put this together?
So a lot of the ingredients were my life experiences, mixed with the fact that when you are in a certain group like single mothers, we tend to conversate about our lives and what we experience and what we go through. And so yes, I can say I gleaned um some of this content from those conversations that we had, just about being pregnant and in the church and being, not knowing what opportunities and things that you're going to do and not knowing what decision to make. All of those things become important because I don't want single mothers to feel like it's a burden to be a single mom. It doesn't have to be a weight. And whenever people tell me, I can't believe you have 5 kids, you smile all the time. And I'm like, am I supposed to be depressed? Like, I mean, what are you saying? And so I actually had a friend call me after seeing the subtitle that says Surviving Single Motherhood. And he said, you know, how do you define being a single mother? He didn't even say hi, hello, or anything. And I was like, what is that? I mean, it's in the book. If you read the book, I do define you in the book. And he said, well, I'm going to buy the book, but I don't think everybody is a single mother. And I said, again, I define it in the book. I'm not going to debate you over the phone. I defined it for the purpose of the book. So he was like, well, I'm just saying, I don't think, Melinda Gates, for example, is a single mother. She gets a lot of money. And I said, the fact that you think whether or not somebody is a single mother is predicated on how much money they have is crazy, because we don't gotta be downtrodden and down and out and begging every 2 minutes to be considered a single mother. That's crazy that people even would think like that. Like, we got to be always on the low end to be classified as a single mother. Like, what? So we're not supposed to want success. We're not supposed to want careers. We're not supposed to want to be homeowners. All of these things are kind of things that I hear as I live my life. And I'm just always taken aback because I'm what kind of humans would we be if we didn't want the best for our children, which would be the same thing we would want if we were in a relationship.
Exactly. Well, so I got to ask you, listen, you all go out and get the book, but if you don't mind, because I love to hear it. I love the way you framed it, and I'm glad you brought up that instance, because that was kind of narrow-minded of me. But look, I'm biased. Everybody watch. All my regular viewers know my story. My mother's watching now. So my grandparents and my mom, who was a single mom, raised me. So look, see, you can say I'm biased. I don't give a damn. I'm a product of that. But I was blessed to have my grandparents who really raised all of us. A lot of folks don't have that. But I'd love to hear. Give us your definition, and I guess the definition of so many single moms that you talk to. So, because this could be an education, especially for us guys that's watching, that need to know and need to hear this. What is the definition of a single mother?
So a single mother, by definition, is a mother who is raising her children with no live-in help, none or very little live-in help. The key word here is live-in, right? Because when you are helping somebody monetarily, that's only one piece of being a parent, right? So all those little things that get done, the details that are weaved in the recipe, as they would say, those get done by us. Who do you think do those things if you don't do them? Throwing money at a problem is only one piece of the puzzle. It's not all the pieces. And so I talk about that in the book because I do hear a lot of fathers complain about child support. I do hear people say, well, she's not a single mother because the father is involved in the child's life. But again, the key word here is live in. Live in. Live in help. When the lights go out, when the door's closed, when you're tired of telling them to stop, live in help. That is the definition. And I want people to really understand that two things can be true at the same time. Simply being a single mother does not mean that you're not a great father. If your baby's mama calls herself a single mother because she doesn't have live-in help, where is it written that that makes you a piss poor daddy? I'm sorry. Did I say he was a piss poor daddy?
No, but
If
you
I
know
did,
what? I'm glad you brought that point up, Nichole.
I didn't.
So, because I think what we need to do, especially in the community and our culture, especially between black men and black women, is stop allowing the outside world, people who are not part of the culture, to define the culture, and we need to define the culture and ourselves for ourselves. People are going to always have something negative to say about us. Yeah, I always have and always will. But I always say, never let somebody else's perception of you become your reality. It doesn't matter how somebody else sees you. What matters is how you see yourself and act accordingly.
Exactly.
So I just wanted to kind of piggyback on that point because you know you can co-parent and be a great. As a matter of fact, some couples find out that they are better as co-parenting and friends than as maybe spouses.
Exactly. And with less toxicity around their children. So the fact that we have negatively labeled being a single mother says all you need to know about a lot of what single mothers deal with when people find out they're single mothers. There's this stigma that comes with it. And I wrote this book because I want single mothers to understand that we are the shit. Okay. We are not what people say we are. We are who we say we are. And that is what I want them to understand by reading this book, is that we have shared experiences and shared life experiences, and we're still out here doing incredible things in spite of. We're doing them with all the weight of being a single mother. We're doing them with all the added responsibility. We're doing them in accordance with, there are people who don't have any children that accomplish less than we do in a lifetime. So I want us to remove that negative connotation. It is simply what it is. We are single mothers. It is what it is. If you don't want to be labeled as a piss poor daddy, then don't be one. But I didn't call you one. I said I was giving a voice to us because I want us to have a voice in a place where we can see that we are venting, where we are getting solutions, where we can laugh together, cry together, and get it all out. That way we know we are not alone. And for new mothers, this book too will let you know exactly what you have. I address the new mothers in this book as well, because there's a lot of things that come with being a new mother that nobody talks about when it comes to your emotional stability, when it comes to how we deal with all the stress. Nobody wants to look at the parts that aren't so pretty, right? But everybody wants those good things. So my middle son is 14. His dad is really shy, so I'm not going to say his name. But we co-parent so well that the school didn't even know we weren't married. We've never been to court. We don't have any paperwork. He's never been on child support, because why? We do whatever it takes to provide for our son. So in that case, he knows I'm a single mother, yes, but that doesn't mean he's not a great father. If you ask me, he is a great father. I am going to tell you that Devin has a daddy that is a great father, period. So we got to stop with this pitting men and women against each other, because I love men. I mean, I have 5 kids, Just saying. I'm just saying.
That's kind of the obvious. we granted we kind of figured that out, but that's nothing wrong with that. Nothing
So
wrong with that.
I'm single fathers. I know some bomb fathers that are not single fathers, that don't have their kids majority of the time, but they're still great fathers. I say kudos to you all, but there's still very much a double standard when we talk about who we clap for in that arena. And so I definitely wanted to write a book to give us a voice, to give us space. And I know that there are a lot of pastors' wives that go through in silence. That's a whole nother book, but at the same time, they're still mothers, and they're almost like single mothers. And so again, I have been in the church my whole life. I've lived a lot of these experiences for myself. I didn't have to go and get them, because I lived them, and I seen how we were treated, and I seen how people stigmatized me. When I ran for the state house, I was actually in school at the same time, and raising my kids. And this lady at my church, not the church I go to now, but the church I was going to at the time, she looked at me and she said, "You doing too much, aren't you?" And I was like, "I don't know, it might be too much for you, but it's not too much for me." So again, we out here doing great things. And as far as me running for office, Gino, let me run into that real quick because I know y'all
Right here, I'll save that for the end because I want to finish up with the book because you got a book signing. I want you to promote that. But let me ask you this, and this ties into the book. Two-part question. What's the and I'm sure you answered this in the book, but you can just kind of give us an idea, and then when people buy the book, they can read in depth your answer in more full detail. What is the hardest thing about being a single mom, and what is the one thing that the culture, collectively, all of us, men included, can do to support single moms? And in turn, that's going to benefit single dads and single parents, because they are dads that are single parents. I mean, we still have issues because there's still the double standard, the misogyny, and the sexism. So what's the hardest part about being a single mom, and what's the one thing that we could do as a collective in the culture to benefit single moms, period, all of them, all of you?
So in my opinion, I would say the hardest thing is pathways to income, right?
Okay.
And I said pathways, I chose that word on purpose because when I think pathways, I'm talking about not only who watches our kids while we work, but how much it costs for people to watch our kids while we work, but also how we have to get them somewhere before we get to work, but also how we have to leave work if something's wrong and still try to make progress. When I say pathways to income, I'm talking about the upper echelon, and really making income that would keep us from being near the struggle bus or holding on to the back of it all the time. As far as how society or us as a culture could do better, if you are an employer, build things into your employment package that help mothers or parents, single parents. How about that? Because you can't discriminate. I would say build things that help single parents into your employment package. If you take care of your employees, they will take care of you. I would say as a culture, we can be careful how we talk about single mothers, be careful how we deal with single mothers. I'll give you a great example. I said that somebody had dreads. This was about a year ago. And he said, "No, these are locks." And I said, "Oh," he said, "dreads are what they call them." That was a negative connotation for dreads. But they locked. And I said, and I had to practice a few times because I catch myself saying the one with the dreads.
Yeah.
And I said the one with the locks. And it's just that connotation of how we build it we got, as a culture, we have to control the narrative. We are good at that. That is not hard. We do that with everything. I mean, I can name 20 things right now that the culture controls. I mean, just being woke, right? I mean,
and including social media.
Yeah. Who would have thought? Who would? You know what I mean? Like, those are things that we do have the power to control. And so I think changing the narrative and how we deal with and look at single mothers, I think that's something as a culture that we could do a lot better on.
So you got a big book signing. I want you to tell everybody all about it. You can order this book now, but I want you to support this sister. I plan to support her. If I don't have a prior engagement, I'm going to get the book anyway. So tell us about the book signing, where it's going to be, and what people need to do. And more important, like I said, this is a soon-to-be bestseller. So we're going to need y'all to get online and start ordering copies, plural.
Yes. So the book signing is going to be on March 9th at 2810 Ashley Phosphate Road. That's at Chill and Grill. They have a stage and presentation area that I will be in doing the book signing. We'll do some readings. We'll even take some questions and do some talking. It'll be an exciting time. I really hope. I got a lot of men coming. Geno, the men are coming through. You hear me? They are coming.
I already know, because we want to hear what y'all got to say.
Exactly. Hopefully it's
and
a great.
that's a Saturday. That's a Saturday to let everybody know.
Same Saturday as the Black Expo, which is at 10 o'clock that morning. Then you can come see me for a quick break, get on the highway, because it's the quickest way to get to me, and then get back on the highway and go back. I really think that you'll get a lot out of coming. And yes, please buy the book from me. The book will retail at $20. And I'll be signing copies there again, March 9th at 2 p.m. Chill and Grill on Ashley Phosphate, 2810 Ashley Phosphate Road. I will be there. The book will be on Amazon after that. You can buy it on Amazon. For those asking about Audible, it's not done yet. I am in the process of working on the Audible recording. When that's done, I will let you guys know it's released. But I am excited about this book. I feel like it's been a long time coming. And
how long have you been working on it?
I've been working on it about a year because it's went through so many different changes. And there's a special treat halfway through it. There's only one male voice in this book, and that is the voice of David J. Mack IV, who is the son of Representative David Mack. And he introduced me to this term that just blew my mind, Geno. Emotional hustling. Dude, I said, I need you to break that down. What is emotional hustling? And as he began to tell me his story about how he himself discovered he was an emotional hustler, I mean, that thing just worked on me. You hear me? So I said, I need you to write an excerpt for my book because I feel like this is what so many women experience and don't even know they're experiencing. And he looked at me and he said, once I realized that's what was going on, I was just so, I was so conscious of it myself because he didn't even know he was doing it. And sometimes we can do things and be unaware of them until somebody brings it to us. And now he's aware. He shared that with me. I was like, man, you got to write an excerpt from my book. And he was nervous. It took him a while. He took his time, but it was everything that we experienced that we, when they make us think we're going crazy and we really not. Yeah, that kind of thing. I was
gonna say that some folks may not know, but trust me. Now I'm a man. I'm gonna give it to you straight, no chaser. You family. Some of these dudes, they know exactly what the hell they doing. That's their MO. That's how they get over.
Exactly. So yeah, I address all of that in the book. I also address, the whole stigma about us not being married. It's like, come on, y'all. Like, for real, some of y'all is unhappily married and trying to run. Don't.
Oh, don't say that part with your full chest for everybody in the back there. Some of y'all looking at the show right now. We didn't call any name. We didn't go Cat Williams and Monique now.
We didn't go Cat Williams and Monique.
We could have named names, but we didn't name names. So we
name names, but we won't name that part. Now you are.
I love it. So Saturday, March 9th, it starts at 2?
Mm-hmm.
So from 2 until
5.
2 to 5. Okay, give everybody that address again. And second part of this question, can we pre-order now? Do we have to wait?
You have to wait.
Okay.
I answered out of order. Well, you have to wait. But the address again is 2810 Ashley Phosphate Road, and that is in North Charleston. From 2 to 5 p.m., I will be there signing books. Nichole Spencer is my pen name. So when you look for the book on Amazon, you need to put in Nichole Spencer, Nichole with the H, Nichole, because that is actually my real middle name. Okay. So my real middle name is Nichole with the H in it. Only thing that's different about that is the Spencer on the end. So I'm excited. Thank you so much for introing my book.
Come on, I'm so happy for you. I'm happy for you. And for whatever reason, if you can't make it out on March 9th, shame on you, because you got about 3 weeks to plan it. But I get it. I understand. It's a lot going on. So as of March 9th, can they go online and order that day, or do they have to wait a day or two?
Nope. As of that day at midnight, actually on midnight on the 8th, it's live on Amazon. They can look for this specifically, because of course there are other books with that title, but the subtitle is what's different, right? Some of those other books They definitely don't look like this. So it's definitely the only purple pinkish. And I made this art myself, so you won't see a duplicate of this. This is made by me. So
Anybody
there's that.
anybody tell you she favors like a young CC Winans?
Oh no, but I like it.
Yeah, she kind of favors to me. I worked in Detroit, so I mean, she kind of, I'm like, they look like a little younger CC Winans there. Now, one more question. Well, it depends on the answer, but I think one more. Can we get, is it paperback and hardcover, or what? Just
So it's kind of in between. It's just paperback,
okay.
but the cover 30. It's not it's a gloss cover, so it's not like the flimsy paper. It's kind of thick. I don't know if I'm trying to see which way the camera is.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know because sometimes they have hardcover and paperback, so I didn't know. So here we go.
Yeah, I felt like something that you can do this to and stick it in your purse.
Yeah,
You know,
I love
pocket.
it. I love the color. So now on your way out, now yes, the culture wants to know because a lot of us is saying you are a true warrior, and we got to keep you in the fight. So for all those that are wondering, is Nichole Spencer going to return as you ran for U.S. Senate? You were South Carolina State Representative. Is public office in your future? Have you decided? Have you ruled it out? You's like, look, I'm done with y'all. Y'all can, y'all ain't gonna worry my nerve no more. What?
So it's funny that you asked that. Public office may be in my future, but I need the people to tell me where y'all want me to be because it's y'all who put people where they need to be. So my question is this though. I'm not going to run for anything where I have to work two jobs. So the salary has to be its own thing because public service is a full-time job.
Yes.
So with that being said, I will say this. There are some seats that have full-time paying jobs coming available. I have been eyeing one of those seats.
Okay.
If you tell me which seat, maybe you can control which seat I run for. I am definitely a hot commodity in this state right now. I receive calls every week about running for office. People are now looking back for their fighter. And I am that person. I'm still out here fighting for the people. I'm still not scared and I still tell it like it is. I will say that I'm definitely a lot more calmer out of office. There's something about politics that pulls this other side out of you. And I know people say it, but to live it is truly a wonder to look back and see some of the things I was saying and doing. And it's like, that's what it called for in the moment. And people don't understand because they're watching from the outside. And so, listen, like you said, Donald Trump got 91 indictments. They got him on a recorded call and all that. Now, the Dems was a little bit soft when I was running. They was real soft, actually. But the Republicans, they don't care. So what I'm telling y'all is, if y'all want me to run for something worth running for, y'all gotta do the work. The people gotta show up and they gotta show out.
Because at the end of the day, like you said, and one of the things I've always admired and loved about you, just professionally, you understood the difference between, which is why you were fighting. That's why it was intense for you. You weren't in it for fame and fortune. You understood that you were not a politician. You were in politics, but you were a public servant. And trust me, there's a difference. I don't have to tell you. You lived it. There's a difference between a politician and a public servant.
Most certainly. Difference. And for those of y'all who saying you're not going to go vote, I mean, listen, nobody wants to take blame, but we all got to take this on the chin, Geno. We had 4 years to come up with another candidate, and everybody was waiting on somebody else to show them who to vote for. We could have put up our own candidate as the people, but we did not. So now we are left with these choices. And for those Dems that are talking about voting for Nikki Haley, let me tell you something. As soon as I heard Nikki Haley was running for the presidency, I knew that there was some people who were going to change over and vote for her just because she's from South Carolina. I hate that premise, but it exists. And, what's funny is when I was talking about, people's sleeper cells or whatever the call was that they had or whatever, I wasn't talking about doing it in a malicious way. I was talking about the same thing that these folks are doing. They're saying vote for her in the primary and then still vote Democrat in the general. And that's the same premise, right? But my thing is this: it's too late now because our primary is over. So when I talk about multifaceted, you gotta be playing chess and not checkers. If you in this state, you can only vote in one primary. So if the Democrat primary is first and you don't get your message out to enough people and they vote in the Democratic primary, they can't help you flip over a vote in the Republican primary. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm so baffled. Like, who thought this was a good plan? This is not a good plan. Number one. Number two, you need to encourage people to. Nobody wants Biden or Trump. Nobody. MAGA country wants Trump, kind of, but still, nobody is necessarily would have been like they the top choice for me. But there's all these other races on the ticket that we need people to show up for that are connected to their daily lives. That's connected to your water bill, connected to your electric bill, connected to the park in your neighborhood, connected to your neighborhood cleanup, connected to SEDOT, connected to them potholes. There's
connected to your reproductive freedom, connected to if you've got a niece or granddaughter that's 10 years old and was a victim of rape or incest, you are in a state to where the state is going to force her to have a child by a rapist.
And y'all worried about the presidency where they going to argue in Congress just like they do in the South Carolina State House? I need y'all to be voting for these local people and running for these local races. That's what I need everybody to focus on. And if you are worried about these book bans and stuff, I almost find it laughable that the same folks who buy their kids cell phone and tablets at the age of 4 still think their kids can't access the internet and read everything they want to read about slavery, being gay, queer, trans, LGBTQI, about Black people, about Hispanics, about how they heard that America stole some land. They got to go to school with kids of all cultures. Every culture is going to teach their kids their history. Do you not think that one of them Indian or Hispanic kids going to be like, nah, because we had Texas first, and then y'all came over here. I mean, and then were raised some. There is something about evolution that cannot be changed. You can slow it down, but you can never stop it. And if they want to set their kids up to be behind the times, let them do it. I say, let them do it, because my kids won't suffer for their lack of ability to be diverse, because my kids read at home. My kids are taught by me. And I keep saying this. We want to keep fighting at the schools, and we should. We should, because public school is free to everybody, and you should get a quality education there. You can't leave it up to private schools because they don't let everybody in, and you don't want your child to be ignorant and left behind. But
and another reason, just to piggyback on that real quick, don't lose that thought. I want you to finish it. Another reason why you better vote, because the same people that's got Project 2025 are the same people that's part of that plan. They want to get rid of public schools and privatize all of them. So everybody would have to pay. And what happens to the folks that's living paycheck to paycheck? They can barely afford to send their kids to a free school. What are they going to do when there's no more public education and the Department of Education is gone? Just had to put that in there since I'm glad you went there, but I just wanted to put that in there.
Yeah, and instead of complaining about people who don't know the right way to fight, teach them how to fight. Teach them how to join other organizations who are going in the direction you want to go. They might not have it perfect. They might not have it figured out, but we are the biggest skeptics. I ain't giving my little $10 over there because Geno, I heard Geno take the money and buy groceries sometime. I mean, but is Geno fighting for what you fighting for? Because you don't show up to none of the meetings. Geno is at every school board meeting. So if that is the case, right? Pastor Dixon show up to everything, y'all. Pastor Dixon is at everything with that doggone red scarf on. I'm just gonna say I might not agree with every stance that he take, But if his ship is sailing in the direction that I want to go, and I'm not showing up, if I'm not showing up, I'm not organizing. I don't have a group. I don't have a 501c3. I ain't got nothing to do nothing with. I don't have any transportation leading me in the direction that I want to go. I better get my ass on somebody else's ship, because I can't stand on. Definitely not God, and I don't know none of y'all walking on water. You better get your ass in the ship, or you're gonna be on some land. You're gonna be flooded out.
And
All
understand, this is a choice. This election is a choice between your freedom and your oppression.
And parents need to be parents, Geno. I'm so sorry. Y'all want the schools to do everything. I feel bad for teachers. 30 kids in one class. I got 5, and I don't want them all to talk to me at once. All I'm saying is, y'all got to be parents too. You can't expect your teachers to. Do you know teachers are with our kids more than we are?
Yes.
They are with your kids 8 hours a day. Y'all get them. Maybe if you get off work at 4 or 5, they go. Hopefully they got a bedtime, 8:30, 9 o'clock. If they don't, you probably going to sleep because you tired. So that's what, 4 hours. You wake them up in the morning. You see them for 20, 30 minutes before they go to school. And then you do it all over again until the weekend.
5 days.
5 days, a whole week. We in America where they want you to be away from your kids and raise your kids all at the same time. Ain't that a conundrum? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
That's why we got to pull you back in the fight. See, just the last 10 minutes, you made your own case right there. That's why we got to keep you in the fight, my sister. You are a warrior.
Well, I am here for it. I'm here for it. I want to be in the fight. I want to make sure that when big corporations come, they help uplift our communities that are already struggling. I don't mind new development so long as we carrying everybody else with us. And so for me, two things can be true. That's probably going to be my saying all year, is 2 things can be true at the same time. We can build new shit and we can still fix old shit too. I mean, just because you go buy a new dining room table, that don't mean you're going to replace all the chairs. The chairs might be fine. You might just have to tighten the screws on the chair.
A little common sense. I love it. I'm sure a lot of that common sense is in this book, so make sure you pick it up. Even Broken Crayons, Color. Nichole Spencer, your new author. Thank you, Miss Spencer, a.k.a. Miss Matthews. I love you, my sister. Keep up the great work. You get my full support. You know you have a permanent home. I don't know. We got to talk after this, because I'm hearing you're gonna be like a feature, like a regular contributor. Maybe once a month. Nichole's or Crystal's Corner. Just kind of let you vent on whatever.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah, I'm producing the show in real time, live on camera. But yeah, just the last 15 minutes that you gave us, I'm like, yeah, I think y'all just saw a prelude of Crystal's Corner, so you see how she gonna get down.
I love it, and a lot of people are buying these and donating them to women's shelters and groups that. Man, I thought that was incredible. So yes, thank you, y'all for all the support on the front end. And I look forward to seeing everybody on March 9th at 2 p.m. Chill and Grill, Ashley Phosphate.
And if you got family or friends, even strangers, maybe you got a sister church in Florida, in Texas.
Mother up in May.
Send a whole ass of them. Send a whole case. As a matter of fact, send a case to Governor, I call him Governor Dumbass Death Wish DeSantis. Send his ass a whole case of...
I'm with it.
All right, Nichole Spencer, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
All right, I like that idea. We have to talk after the show. I like Crystal's Corner or a minute with Nichole Spencer. All right. Hey, listen, thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you. You, and especially you, God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 in Chicago when I come on. Shout out to my baby sister, Angela Chambers Jones. Hey, Angela, my baby sister, she said, hey, big brother, and of course, my mother. And shout out to Lisa Davis. Lisa, thank you for watching. Everybody else is watching me live. I appreciate you. 3:30 out on the West Coast. Subscribe, share, screen grab, like, and binge watch all my back episodes. Tell everybody to subscribe to the channel. The show is fire. As you just see, we have guests like this on all the time. Subscribe, share, screen grab. You got it. Hey, take a video clip, put it up on TikTok, on Threads, on Twitter or X, on Instagram, on Snapchat, on Facebook. Create a YouTube short right here on YouTube. You got my permission. Let's make it happen. Subscribe, share, screen grab, like, and then binge watch all those back episodes. Shout out to Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show, CEO of Designer Cuts in Goose Creek, South Carolina. That's really part of the Charleston, South Carolina Metro. Check him out on Instagram or on IG. Kel Be Cutting Up, KELBECUTTINUP. Allie Jones is the drip director, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check her and her collection. She is a fashion designer. Check her collection out on IG, on Instagram, LX.NCL underscores that little dash. So it's LX.NCL at the very end of the last L underscores that little dash on IG, on Instagram. So the next live edition is going to be on Friday. You know what Friday means? Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. We have fun. It is Have Big Fun Friday. Fun Friday. You know how we get down with my guest co-host, Miss Keela Carson, kind of like a weekend review. I know we're going to be talking about what happened on Sunday. Usher's halftime performance drew 129 million viewers. The game only had 123.7 million. So you can round that up to 124 million, and he still had 5 million more people that watched this halftime show than watched the game. So when they talk about the game set a record, it was the most viewed television program in America's history, and they try to give all that credit to Taylor Swift. I'm sorry, Swifties. She was a part of it, absolutely. But she wasn't the only part, because Usher got more viewers than the game. I'm just saying. So what we're not going to do is, now we ain't going to disrespect nobody. I ain't got to shade Taylor Swift, but I ain't going to let the media shade Usher. It's like, no, hold on. Put some respect on his name. That's all I'm saying. We'll see you Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 in Chicago, 3:30 out in Los Angeles, live Friday. In the meantime, I love you so much. God bless you. Thanks for watching.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.